You know, when you really set your mind to be separate from the world, isolated, separate, whatever you want to call it, you set your mind to be set apart. Only by the grace of God can He set you apart. But then He starts doing the work, right? So He does the work in you. He says, come out from among them and be you separate. So as you're moving out, away, you know, and you can't move out till after you get saved, right? Because you can't do it without the Holy Spirit. And so as you start to peel the onion layers off of the lies of this system, you peel off one layer and you might not have, you know, when you cut onions, it can cause you to have tears, right? So you peel off one layer, you get saved, and you say, oh, the devil lied. I was a hell-bound sinner. I got saved. Jesus, come to my heart. Lord, save me. And then for about a year, you're just praising God. Hallelujah. You're just... And then you start to wake up to what this place really is. Slowly. So you take another onion layer off, start to cry. Another onion layer off, start to cry. And every time you pull off one layer of lies in the system, you think, well, that's it. I've dug as deep as I could to see all the lies. Then there's another one, another one, another one. It's almost like 10,000 lies that just keep happening. The narcissist, the gaslighting, the red versus blue political party. Everything is just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. The nations fighting each other. If I listed every lie, it'd probably be a book. I know it'd be at least 3 pages long, maybe 10 pages long. There's so many lies. When I first got saved, I would read the Bible, and I'd say, I would think, in my mind as I was reading, I'd say, well, why would these prophets live out in the woods? John the Baptist, Jeremiah, I don't know which ones lived out in the woods or lived in the city, but a lot of them lived out in the woods, you know. I thought, why would they leave the city and live out in the woods? I understand. I totally get it. Now, somebody asked a great question, how to be stable in the midst of all this. And the only thing I can answer is study watch some videos about stoicism, to become a stoic. Now, you might say, well, that's the world saying, no. The word stoic goes back to S-T-O-A, goes back to S-T-A, goes back to stand. And the only way you're going to stand is come out from among them and be you separate, and don't let the drama. See, this whole 3D experience is a snake. It's a sine wave, and so the drama is to throw you into a tailspin. Oh no, it's the end of the world, just like any movie that you watch. Oh no, it's the end of the world, and then somebody comes in and rescues the situation. That's the drama. People love the snake. People love the drama. Why would the Jerry Springer show be so popular? Why would Dr. Phil be so popular? People love the drama. Why would the Cheaters show be so popular? People love the drama. It's the snake eating itself. The snake system is the sine wave. And so how do you become stoic in the midst of this crazy system or around people that aren't? So the sine wave is like this. You got a line and another line and the sine wave. And so you take and turn it 90 degrees, and what do you got? You got the cross, you got the snake on the pole. So the only way to become a stoic down here in this place is take up your cross. Crucify your pride. Crucify the old Adam. Crucify your own understanding. Crucify the fear darts by faith. What's the opposite of fear? Faith. Crucify the pride. Yeah, but I have pride every day, crucified every day. It keeps coming back up. Keep crucifying it and renewing your mind. Eventually it stays in the grave. And the next time it comes up, you say, oh, I'm not playing this game anymore. You have to go through the cycle simulation enough times to where you just say, okay, I can feel that. So some Jezebel spirit comes up and wants to have an argument with you. It could be on this highway. Let's say I pull up and this guy's doing his finger, right? And I just say, hey, how you doing? Why would I get in a pride war? Somebody might be tailgating me. What I do with that is I just hit my flashers to wake them up because they're in sleep mode. Why are you tailgating me, man? And usually 95% of the time this works. I don't have to get mad. I don't have to get upset. I don't have to hit my brakes. I don't have to do nothing. I just put the flashers on and they usually just back, you know. Long story short, the only way to make it in this snake system, this draconian drama, DRA is drama, DRA is Draco, DRA is draconian, DRA is dragon. So the dragon system is nothing but drama. It's the sine wave. It's the sin wave. And so the sin wave is like this, the yin and the yang, the up and the down. So you want to be steady state, upright, just like that telephone pole, that tree. You know, you want to be upright. You don't want to be up and down, fickle. A double-minded man's unstable in all his ways. So you don't want to be fickle. You want to be upright. Right? Steady state. If there's somebody out there that has a problem with that on the job and you can't get away from it, go get you 2 part-time jobs. I had an aunt tell me that when I was young, before I even got saved. She said, sometimes one job is rough. It's better to have 2 part-time jobs. And I never forgot that, because there were times where I just worked 2 jobs because of that. Because if they know you depend on them, they're gonna try to provoke you, right? That's the devil in them, the demon in them, the narcissist. If you show any kind of weakness at all, they're gonna attack that weakness. And the unseen realm's watching you. Now God allow he won't put more than you can bear, right? God will allow certain things to push you to the next level, to birth in that new creature. So my whole life, when people would tailgate me or throw a fit or something on the highway, I had to learn, because doing rideshare, you can't lose your cool. So it took me most of my life to figure out, wow, that's a really easy solution. And if that really gets on your nerves, go get you a sticker that says baby on board and put it on the back of the window or something like that. Or put police on the back, you know, not police, but emergency services or something, you know. As long as you don't do anything don't claim to be something you aren't, you know, illegal, but make them question, hey, is this an authority figure gonna pull me over? Put some kind of shield that's not a police shield, that way they don't arrest you. Put something on the windshield, make them think that you're an authority figure on the highway or something, so they leave you alone. Baby on board. The easiest way is just to do this. Watch this car behind me. When you do that, they change lanes usually because they think you're broke down. See that car, that big truck? See how he changed lanes? He saw the flashers. He just, and this other truck is the same way. That car right there. See how they change lanes? So they think I'm going to just slow them down, you know. I'm just giving you some secrets about walking in the Spirit. So a lot of times walking in the Spirit is keeping your boundaries from people who are flesh creatures, because They will do the devil in them will try to provoke you any which way but loose. They don't want you to get free. They don't want you to be loose. They want you to be responding in the sine wave, the sin wave. But you're seated in the heavenlies in Christ. When you realize this is all simulation, this is all to birth you. Apostle Paul said, I travail in birth pains till Christ be formed in you. So the cycles are the birthing cycles. And as you travel through this holographic simulated training program that God allowed you to be born in, He's pulling the elect saints out of this. You know it's going to burn up, so it's not anything that's going to burn up is not real. It's temporary. So this place is going to be burned up, renovated. The stars are going to fall from the sky. The sun's going to go dark. The moon's going to just fall, go dark. And Jesus will be the light of the new heaven and new earth. Jesus will be the light of the new heaven and new earth. God and Jesus. Now we know Jesus is God, but you got the Trinity. When you see Jesus, He's the image of the Godhead bodily. So that tells you right there, if Jesus was the image of the Godhead bodily, that tells you these are all images, these are all projections. This is all a hologram. That one verse, if you meditate on it long enough, you'll see what I'm talking about. If Jesus is God, and He is, and you got God the Father, and Jesus is the image of the Godhead bodily, the disciples said, show us the Father. He said, I've been with you the whole time. Can't you see me? He's a copy. He's an image. It's the projection down here. They're one. And so when you get saved, you're sons of God. You're a copy of Jesus. Now you have the earnest of the Spirit, so you haven't entered into your fullness yet until you see Jesus. When you see Him, you'll be like Him. Then you enter into that fullness, right? Because you'll be transformed away from this natural body into the spiritual body. And so the spiritual body doesn't cast a shadow. Why does the natural body cast a shadow? That Shekinah glory, that spiral that showed up in February of 2012, that spiral that showed up, it didn't cast a shadow. The only reason I saw it, it didn't cast a shadow on the objects. It was just self-contained, right? The only reason that I saw it was I turned around and within 3 seconds it dematerialized right there. It went from through the roof, through the floor. And the next day, I was being downloaded all this decode and all this stuff that they don't teach in seminary. Even though it's right in front of you. Like one of my subscribers said, he said, you can't separate 3D from the Bible. The Bible's not only is it forever settled in heaven, which is 5D or higher, but it's also on that 2D book. It's written down, but it's also playing out in 3D. So the Bible's true in every dimension. 1D, 2D, 3D, 5D, 7D, 9D, 11D, however in many dimensions God is, that the Bible is still the truth. What was I talking about? I got sidetracked. Oh, how to be a stoic in the middle of a crazy, insane place. All the news. Oh no, there's going to be a war. Oh no, the aliens are attacking us. Oh no, a virus here. Oh no, a outbreak here. Oh no, the bird flu. Oh no, the demons. Oh no, it's all fear darts, and it's all repeating. It all repeats. So what you can do is you can use the cycles, your daily cycles, to predict what's going to happen before it happens. Okay, watch this. I can predict the future. And this, you might say, this is a silly example, but it's not. See that guy walking his dog? We'll probably see some other dog up here. But I can predict the future really easy. I can predict the future really easy. See that umbrella? There's probably one beside it. There it is. See this intersection with this stoplight? There's probably one up the street here. I bet you there's another stoplight up the street. And you might say, well, that's easy. Exactly. It's easy to predict the future because what has been shall be, what shall be has been. It might be a different kind of technology, but it's still a horse and a carriage. Why do you think it's called horsepower? The new technology, still transportation stuff, it's the same. It's the same. You can look at the clouds and say, oh, there's a storm coming. There's always foreshadows, just like in a book. You can always see it. You could actually see what was going to happen with Cain and Abel by what happened with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve was a foreshadow of what would happen with Cain and Abel. Think about what I'm telling you. Because Adam and Eve dropped us down into sin. Sin brings death. You can read book of Galatians and you know that drunkenness and murder and envy and covetousness and all that. So you knew that either Cain or Abel would kill the other one. And then you could look at the name, Cain can't and Abel is able. So you knew by their names that Abel would kill Cain. If you were there, you could foreshadow and see it. And because Adam was a prophet, he knew what was going to happen before it happened. That's why he went down with the ship. He knew he had to go down. When Eve had spiritual sex with the devil, he knew he had to go down with the ship to pull her out because she was caught up in sorcery and witchcraft. He was not into deception. Eve was into deception. And I heard this one preacher online, this older guy, black guy, he's real popular. He said Eve's battle is to overcome the devil. Adam's battle is to overcome the Jezebel spirit in Eve. Eve's battle is to overcome the devil. Adam's battle is to overcome Eve because Eve is her desires to rule over her husband. So she wants to be queen bee, worshipped in the old flesh mind. Eve wants you to worship her if she's in the flesh mind. In the spirit mind, she's going to submit to you. Adam, in the flesh mind, he's going to be trying to rule over his wife with the iron fist. In the spirit mind, he's going to be a servant leader. Hello? The old Adam wants to be a dictator, ruling with an iron fist. The new Adam wants to be a servant leader. That's why you got to marry somebody that you love, because if you don't love that person, when the old flesh mind kicks in, and it will, especially if you're married, because you're being pushed and pulled every which way but loose, like I say. So you better marry somebody that you love, not just marry for convenience or security or what most people marry for. Because you're going to be stuck with a person who has the spirit and the flesh. And so those two are battling with each individual, the man or the woman. And then the children, they're going to push and pull that relationship. It's the same game. And sorry to say it, but especially if you marry when you're younger, you don't even know who you are. And so as you grow, you're going to grow in this direction. She's going to grow in this direction, and y'all should be growing together, but that hardly ever happens. Do you hear what I'm saying? You would hope that it would happen. But I've actually seen people who never miss a day of church, and the man and the woman live two different lives, and they're married, and you would say, that's bizarre. But then after you get married, you realize, oh, okay. You can't force the other spouse to see your perspective. Just like a job, you have to have team. When you have a job, you have many members on the team, and they all have different personalities and different goals and different objectives. That's why I said if you study game theory, study the theory of game theory, you'll learn that even though people have their own agenda, you can find a common goal to work with them, you know. Game theory will change your life. I don't know what I'm going to title this. The only thing I can title it is the only way you're going to walk in the Spirit is set some boundaries, take up your cross, die daily, die to self. Like watch these birds fight. You already know what's going to happen before it happens. Watch, that bird's trying to get that food and they're in there fighting each other. Even though they're of the same kind, instead of sharing the food, so there's another bird, watch. There's going to be a fight, watch. Instead of them helping, there's another one. Instead of them helping each other, they're fighting for that piece of food right there. That's a beast. That's the brute beast mindset, right? And so the flesh mind is the brute beast mindset. And notice how they all, even though they're fighting each other, usually they're fighting, they need each other. So that's why you see people that hate each other, but they hang out with each other. As soon as they walk away, they're bad-mouthing the other person. And they hate them, but they need them. So you see that in marriages, you see that with these beasts of the field. So that tells you that the mankind is a brute beast without the Holy Spirit. Just like a beast, just like a dog or a cat or a bird or a bear or a lion or whatever, alligator, reptilian shapeshifters. And Jesus went to the cross for that. Think about that. For the narcissist, I really believe a narcissist can get saved and change, but it's going to be a process, and it's going to have to hurt. It is going to have to hurt. For a narcissist to get saved, who cannot be introspective at all, who thinks they're gods or goddesses, for a narcissist to get saved, it has to be a miracle from above. But usually they've learned that as a child, and as they get older and older, they've seared their conscience as with a hot iron. So everything they say is a lie. And they lie to themselves, you know. Oh, I started this video saying that this place, there's so many onion layers of lies that you can blame it on the devil all you want, but it's really the old Adamic nature, the old flesh mind of Adam and Eve, and they want to put a fig leaf over their heart, their mind, their eyes. They want the fig leaves to cover their wretched state, and they don't want to look at that. And right when you're getting saved, see, when God is convicting you of sin, you don't want to admit you're a sinner. Let's say somebody committed murder, and God is convicting them that you're a murderer. They can't even admit they're a murderer. Well, I did it in self-defense, right? They're going to justify it. The worst sin you can... Look at David. You know it's true because David, who was a believer, Nathan said, "You're the man." He had to use a parable of somebody else to convict David of sin with Bathsheba. Not only was he a murderer, but that was adultery and all, and David couldn't see it. And there was consequences to that choice. But Nathan, the prophet, had to come up and say, "You're the man." And so it takes a prophet or a lightning bolt. Did you just see that? It takes some kind of lightning bolt to bring you to your senses and to show you that you're just as bad as everybody that you're looking at. You might not have done the same sin, but you've done something else. And the Bible makes it clear if you committed one sin, you committed them all. You know? Maybe somebody will get saved listening to this. Maybe you think you're saved, but you never got saved because you thought, "I've always been a Christian." Well, there's no such thing as "I've always been a Christian." You have to see God didn't come, Jesus didn't come here to save the righteous, but sinners. That's why he uses the weak things of the world to confound the wise. He's trying to wake always trying to wake people up by using the weak things of the world to confound the wise. Now, why would you put that on your? Why would you have that kind of muffler on your car? You're in that car, as loud as it is here. Imagine how loud it is inside the car. They want to be seen. They will destroy their own health, their own hearing. People will destroy their own health just to be seen. Sometimes you have to get struck by lightning to wake up. To be humbled is a process most of the time. This is a real game, people. And it's a game for souls.